Yes, we're live on YouTube. Yay!
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. So happy to have this workshop with Noah Dold, the famous alchemist of Ioana. Right now, in this amazing and magical time of Christmas, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Noah. Thank you so much for guiding us today into sacred geometry. And I know this is a topic that a lot of people were waiting for because lately I've been posting some information about sacred geometry, and I've seen the interest of people getting to know more about this subject, because it's a lot to talk about, I'm sure. And I'm glad that Noah uh, c- could could uh, could explain us some more about sacred geometry from her experience, because guys, that I want us in this workshop to share experiences, to share knowledge from one true self. So I chose Noah for the sacred geometry, and I'm really happy that we can learn from each other and exchange the experiences and what is for us, both of us, me and Noah, tonight talking about sacred geometry. First of all, Noah, welcome.
Thank
At,
you.
at the end of this workshop, we will announce something really special. So please follow us until the end of this workshop for an amazing news. Noah, tell us, how are you? What did Santa brought you? Tell us how you've been these days on Christmas. And
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm very happy to be here. And I'm in Ibiza right now. And it's beautiful. Actually, I went for a swim today, which is crazy. It's really sunny and warm. And we had lunch yesterday, Christmas lunch in the sun outside. And a wonderful Christmas with the family. And can you hear me?
can you say something, Noah?
Hello?
Yes, right now. Perfect. Now some AirPods connected to. Now we're
Okay. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm in Ibiza right now, and it's super sunny and beautiful.
okay.
And actually, I went for a swim today and before yesterday. And yeah, we had a very beautiful natural Christmas tree with a lot of beautiful gifts from our beloved people. I got some very magical cards actually from Adina.
Oh my God. So I cooperated with Petra, with
Yes.
Noah's mom, and Petra really called me and she was like, I want the cards for Noah, the cards that are representing the alphabet of love that are coming with the regeneration book that I just launched. And I'm super happy that Noah is one of the first people that received the cards. So I'm
Yeah,
really
that was a very, very surprising and beautiful gift because it was completely unexpected. So it's wonderful to have them already with me now.
I'm super happy. I'm super happy you got them. How is Christmas in Ibiza? Before going deep into the subject, I'm sure there are a lot of people who love to.
Wait, I can't. Oh, I can't hear you. Hello?
Do you hear us?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay.
It's wonderful. Actually, the last 3 years I haven't been here, and now it's the first time that I'm here since a while again. And it's really beautiful because in these days now it's really warm and sunny. and you can really be on the beach. And today we had a picnic on the beach, and we went for a swim, and it's like not many people, like there's almost no one, so it's really harmonious and quiet and still and beautiful nature and very, very calm and pure energy. Yeah, it's a really nice. It's
I'm super curious. You know that I'm super curious about Ibiza, because you know a lot of people, when you say Ibiza, they think of like, you know, a lot of like music and noise, and you know it's known as an island in which a lot of people go for, you know, visiting clubs and everything. But with you girls, with you and your mom, you've shared so much about Ibiza being this pure island. And I know that the island is divided into two parts, the one in which, yes, there are the clubs, and one in which there is so much peace and so much you know, powerful vibration. And who knows, maybe guys, we will see each other in Ibiza sometimes with Noah, like
yes, for sure, hopefully.
Maybe in the summer we can share something. Let's see. You guys, tell us more about your intention of having a retreat there, and maybe we can plan. Tell us, Noah, sacred geometry. Like, we've both been in Egypt with Matthias. We've both been through so many processes. And you know, when I say this, I'm like, because it's been a lot in Egypt. And to me, it's like I've learned so much about the elements, and sacred geometry, and the alchemy, the alchemical side of the elements of nature in Egypt, and especially with Matthias Stefano. And I think that there is so much wisdom and so much power in getting to know what is sacred geometry and learning to use the tools that sacred geometry offers. It's beyond words. And I wanted for us to together and to explain more about the subject, so that people can raise their vibration, can learn more about this, and learn how they can use the elements to grow into a different and higher level of consciousness. So my first question would be, what is sacred geometry to you from your experience?
Well, as you said, we've been through a lot there, and through the time I've discovered and rediscovered again what this sacred geometry concept is, and I'm still discovering. Well, in a way, it's like the language of the universe, no, energetically speaking and vibrationally speaking. But for me, it's also like the hidden keys to unlock the potential we have inside of us. And once we also realize that it's not something external, but that we are made of this, and that this is like the invisible spectrums, or at least invisible to our eyes when we are not trained for that, which are around us, which are forming this whole matrix in which we are living in. And we can kind of learn how to serve these lines and use these codes to unlock different concepts, archetypes, or to work with the elements. So through the geometry and through the Platonic solids, actually, I've slowly started to practice to use this geometry to connect deeper with the elements also, because in a way, like the Platonic solids, every Platonic solid has its connected element. And I discovered that it's sometimes much easier for the mind also to connect a concept with another, so that you can use that as a portal to enter in the energy, let's say. And for me, sacred geometry is also a little bit that. Because you can visualize it, and through the energy that represents, get closer to what you're focusing on. And I mean, yes, like for example, now in Argentina, it was again amazing, the experience with how the platonic solids are used to work with the elements, because every day we were unlocking another element. And I mean, they are found also in our physical body, like inside in our cells, but also how we like sit. It's the tetrahedron, and like this, we unlock the fire and we connect to this geometry. And there's so much to it.
This is why, guys, before meditating, that I always share with people, like, use the tetrahedron position, like to have your spine straight, because there is a lot of energy, spinning into your structure when you meditate. Practically, we are changing the vibration. So yeah, drinking water, having the geometry, setting the geometry of your body, it's really, really important for the flow of energy in the physical body and in the auric, in your aura, right? But you were telling us about Argentina, guys. So Noah has been a part of Matias de Stefano group for the activation of 1111 in Argentina, bringing all the knowledge of Egypt and all, the harmony of the elements that we've worked so much in Egypt last year. So they brought it to Argentina. It was a huge work done. So can you share us a bit more on how did you feel, being a part of such a big, practically such a big sacred geometry, because you were all forming there, keys, unlocking and unblocking, and it was a lot of sacred geometry, right? And how you were positioned, the number of people and everything. I believe also that, sacred geometry has a lot to do also with mathematics, with chemistry, alchemy, and all this stuff, right?
Yes, basically it's all of these concepts in one, and it's, as you said, like keys to unlock universal concepts which are not so personalized or humanized, so it is in a way very mathematic, and they are keys we can use to access this bigger field of information. And when this is done with a huge group of people, it's amazing, because first of all, it's like when every person who is in this collective task together, completely aligned and from a pure heart, it's like the energy which is created and which is multiplied with all of these people is insane. It's not only then 2,000 people who are taking part of this task. It's like if it would be 50,000 people or something like this, you can really feel that, because basically we are also using the fractalic concept, that we are all fractals of each other, and through these fractals which we expand this information not only through us but through the whole planet and through the whole earth and through all of the elements, because in the end, like, that's also the alchemy of the elements. The 5 elements, it's all what there is. We are completely made out of the 5 elements. Everything what is part of this reality and of the whole universe is created initially from the 5 elements. So really connecting to those.
Can we remind people which are the 5 elements? Maybe there are people who are watching and they were maybe questioning which are the 5 elements?
Yes, of course. So we have the fire element, the earth element, the ether, which is the invisible element, the
Yes.
spark, which is everywhere, the water, and the air.
Practically, we see these elements, or we feel them, right, in nature and all over us. And a lot of people are, okay, earth, we know it, air, we know it, water, we know it, fire, we know it, but what is ether? Like, a lot of people are still questioning, and I always like love to say that ether is the unseen part that connects everything. But I would love to know, what is ether to you, from what you've experienced, especially in Argentina, with this element?
I think you expressed it actually in a wonderful way. It is the unseen magic and divine spark inside of each of us, which is basically what makes us, what brings us life, like the essence. And to me, it's really connected to the essence also, because in what we call the essence of someone is the spark, and which makes that person being that what he is, or that being, or that plant. And even the essence for the senses, the concentrated extract of that plant in a scent. And this is like the essence, the divine magic spark which lights up our spirit. Like, it is basically our spirit, I would say.
Whoa, that's very, I think that's the answer. Like, super simple for people to understand. What is ether? It's your spirit. And I guess, the spirit is that part of us which is infinite, which knows everything and unknowns anything in the same time. So it's everything and nothing in the same time. And I guess it's, to me, like, the power of the spirit is that side that knows alchemy, right? And keeps transforming and keeps expanding and keeps reshaping your energy, your vibration, because in the end, to be able to change this body, who you are, and getting to know yourself into all this transformational process and progress, I think it has a lot to do with working with the ether element, which is working, in fact, with your spirit. How beautifully you said it.
Yes, and in Argentina, for example, we do every day, we unlocked one element, and ether, or the element, or the geometry, the octahedron, it was the last one, because that is like the spark or the essence which evaporates and brings the information to everywhere else, no? And like the last lightening up of the information. And for me, it is actually physically, if I would put it in a part of my body, it would be like here in my solar plexus. That's where I feel it.
Sure. Yes. Like, we say in Romanian, capul pieptului. I will say it in Romanian. It's like the head of your stomach will be in English for everyone to know, because it is also here that we sense all our emotions, all the struggles, all, even the positive and the less positive, everything is felt here, right, in the solar plexus. And I guess for also from my experience, like, working with ether is also a way of harmonizing your emotions and learning to stay in the flow and not to become, too concrete.
Mm.
Because I think that 3D, right? It's building you in such a way that you can become like too concrete and people forget to flow. Could you possibly say that connecting to the elements is connecting to the flow of the universe and the natural flow of things? Do you
Mm.
feel them like this? Do you feel this connection like this?
Yes, for sure. That's why I think it's very important to reconnect to this basic forms of life, because they are the natural, the original flow of the universe, and they are inside of ourselves also. I mean, we're made of 80% of water. We breathe air all the time. It's what gives us life. We are made of earth, also of the elements of the earth, and the earth is holding us. And in the way, the element fire is also what energetically gives us the spark of life and the energy, and they are essential to our living, I would say. So it is really important to reconnect with the wisdom they carry. And in ancient Atlantis, they were very connected there, the people, to the elements, and they were doing like life journeys and paths to connect just with one singular element and really become that, to be that element, and to be able to transform and use the element and make fire and become the fire, or become the air and move like the air. And I think also through the energy the elements carry, we can inspire ourselves a lot. Like, for example, the water is really this emotional transformation, and soft and subtle, and it always changes and adapts to its surrounding and takes on information. And we can see ourselves also really reflected, I think, in the concepts and the archetypes the elements represent, no? And move through life in a more harmonious way in that sense.
Do you think that the elements are, when we are born, we are born under a sign, in Cancer, right? Ascending in Libra. You are what sign?
Aquarius.
Aquarius. Okay. So we are born under, right? Under a sign, an astrological sign. And according to astrology, we are born also with a percentage from each element. And as far as I know from my friends in astrology, you can even like calculate the percentage of the elements in your structure at the moment that you are born, according to the day, according to the hour, according to your sign, your ascending in which sign as well. And I was sharing the other days on Facebook that I'm surprised. For example, according to this calculation, I came on Earth with 0 air.
Okay.
So I had the more I had water, I had like 73% water, right? I'm a sign, Cancer is water, right? Then I had Earth, like 28 or something. Then I had fire, the rest of it, and 0 air. And I asked, now it made sense to me, because in my 3 years of life on Earth, it was very difficult for me to breathe. My dad actually was, and yes, I understood it later on, right now, when I went very deep into this alchemical side and into the esoteric studies, now it made sense why I couldn't breathe. Because from a doctor point of view, everything was okay. My legs were developed, like they were ready to breathe, but I didn't know how to breathe. So my dad had to walk with me at like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, trying to breathe that fresh air in the morning. And practically my dad was the one who taught me, how to breathe, like
Wow.
how to use my lungs.
Wow.
And I guess it was still a challenge in the years that came afterwards. Of course, I didn't got any, disease or anything, but it took me years to integrate this air element within me. And I guess I fully integrated, because there were times in which I couldn't even like stand to be in a windy area or just feel the wind like blowing my face. Like I was like, oh, I don't like it. And I was like, why I don't like it? I came, imagine, with zero air in my alchemical structure, right?
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
not only that I had to learn how to breathe physically, but with time, I had to learn also how to accept this element and how to embrace it and how to move my body. And I guess it was in Egypt when I was in air group, right, with Matthias. I ended up in air group somehow. And I guess it was meant to be, because I had to fully integrate this element. It was in the Nile trip that we had, when I stayed in the wind on the ship, and I got sick, and I was like, no, this wind again is like, it's not good for me. It's like, horrible. I won't stay there any longer. And then I was like, no, this is the greatest challenge for me, to learn how to work with this element. And then I had to be air and spread all the information that you guys from the other groups, fire, water, and everything, were. I had to move my body, and I had to do all the, that dancing and movements. And it was in that day that I really felt that I came to peace with
You
this element,
reconnected.
and that I fully connected with it. And ever since that moment, which happened, some months ago, right? Imagine 35 years. And it was only that day that I felt that I integrated this element in my structure, like fully, learn how to embrace it, learn how to work with it. Because I was like totally like, air. It was something like a resistance there.
Wow,
So
that's an amazing story.
yes, I really wanted to share that with you, now that you were referring to Egypt. And to me, the connection with air was missing completely. And it's very curious for, I don't know who's watching you guys right now. Try to see, try to get to, I don't know, at least be aware of which are the elements that you feel super comfortable with, and which are the elements in which you're not comfortable with. For example, what about the people who are afraid of water? What do you think? What do you think it's happening there? Do you think it's something, I don't know, they cannot manage to integrate this element physically, alchemically? What do you think? Because I know a lot of people who are afraid of water. And it's not something that, for some people, is not something that happened, or like a traumatic event, or they're just afraid of water.
Yeah, I think it is very related to your personal story, like how you explained it. That that there's just like we are composed alchemically by certain elements more or less depending on which astrological signs we have more or less and to which elements they are related. And if, for example, the element water is the one you least have, it's probably like this movement and this flow and this uncalculatable flow of water, which water carries, right? It's like not definable, really. You don't know what is going to happen, where it's going to take you. It's just moving like this. That some people, they get like they can't handle it and they're afraid of it, no? And maybe I can also imagine for people who have like the element earth very integrated or the element fire very integrated, water can be a little bit like very, very flowy and unapproachable because of this, because it completely takes you away from your ground. It's completely the opposite. It's just in constant movement. And in the same way, the emotions are like this, which are related to the element water as well. But this is really beautiful to try to go deeper there inside of yourself for everyone who's watching and see which elements you most feel identified with and which ones less, and then do some practices with the ones you don't have so well integrated. For example, for me, I think the one I least have is probably element earth. As I'm really airy and also quite watery.
That's a challenge, you know, to land on the ground and to feel grounded and to
bring also the ideas into materialization and to use the earth, because that's also what earth is, right? To materialize the thing. But for this, it's really beautiful, for example, with the element earth, to work with clay and sculpturing, and to really like even work physically with the element earth with your hands, and this can be really grounding. For you, I would say maybe it would be a super interesting experience to go paragliding one day.
Oh, you know what? That one of my biggest wishes is to jump with the parachute and just feel my body floating in the air like a bird. Like I always, like I was watching at the shore in San Diego, I was like admiring the birds and how amazing they fly like so close to the water and how precise. I'm like, I envy them, you know, because I want to have,
they are gliding the air.
Yes, I think, you know, birds are the greatest example of, you know, becoming air and completely giving into this element. So yes, one of my greatest wishes is to jump with a parachute and have that feeling. And when I will do that, I will send you pictures and I will share the experience, just because, you know, it's a part of my challenge, I guess, too. And once you connect, I also feel that is very important to maintain that connection, right? Because let's say step one is to identify which elements you are more friendly with, which elements not, right? Then is how you connect with each one. You know, how can you connect with water? How can you connect with air, with earth, with fire, with air, with ether? Then once you manage to connect, how you keep them in balance, you know, because I think this is the greatest challenge once you are in an amazing relationship. And that's, I think, valid for any kind of relationship. Like once you establish it, like how do you maintain it? How can you keep the elements in harmony? How do you manage to find that harmony of the elements within you from your experience?
Wow, that is a interesting question.
Because that's very challenging for a lot of people, you know, because we are work in progress all the time. Do you think that working with your oils and everything that you created at Mira is helping you gain that balance.
Yes, for sure, because I work a lot with the elements there also, and integrating the sacred geometries with the elements. So every oil represents an element in itself already and carries this information, and also the emotional and mental concepts associated with these elements. Like, for example, with fire, for me, it's energy and passion and aliveness, and having the energy to create things and to be also the initiator.
Yes.
And so on and so on. But yeah, the oils can be really wonderful. I use them to ground, or to get more in touch with my emotions, to get more soft. Or
I use your oils too. Because guys, I want you to know that there are, the essential oils that Noah obtains and combines. Plants can activate these elements within you, and I use Noah's oil to integrate the elements. I use them on my skin, because the essences that you're using, I feel that those plants hold that type of energy, fiery,
yes,
watery, airy, earthy, etheric. I think, in fact, that nature is the greatest network of sacred geometry that we will ever
yes,
know.
for sure, of course.
Right.
I would love to explain a little bit actually about
Yes,
the platonic
please.
solids, and I have here like these symbols
Ooh,
to
that's
show you.
perfect. What do we have here?
So this is the tetrahedron.
I love the geometry. I
Small
love
and
how you
in
had that.
3D. Very small. I think you can't really see it. So this is the tetrahedron, and it's the first of the 5 platonic solids. And I always say, for me, the tetrahedron, it represents the element fire. Here I have it in this oil engraved.
Yes, I have this one. It's the pyramid, practically.
Yes.
Right?
And it represents the element fire, because this is the first geometry in existence. Because imagine this 3-dimensionally. In the beginning, there's just a point, and then when you put another point, there's a line, and this is just a line. But when you add another one, a third one, and you create the triangle, it's like life emerges from that, because it's a 3-dimensionality. It's space and time, it's vibration, energy, matter. It's the past, present, and future. It's like when there's just one line, there's just a straight line. But when you add a third one, it's the spectrum completely changes, no? And this is like the spark of creation, and of what creates the life as we know it. That's why it's associated with the element fire as well, because it's like the enlightening spark in the
Big
darkness.
Bang. Big Bang.
The Big Bang. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, it's the divine trinity. It represents the divine trinity. So there's many different concepts associated to the divine trinity, but it's also the spirit, soul, and body, and the past, present, future, the spark, the flame, the heat. And yeah, it carries really this initiation to life. And for me, this is connected to the root chakra, and it's also the flame which activates our energy, and which gives the life to us, and which makes us do things and be completely full of passion and energy to be alive. No,
Yes.
This is the fire, which is sometimes also very intense and powerful and strong.
Yes.
No,
Yes. Because sometimes you can even tell, like, oh my God, look at this person, like he or she is so fiery, like loud talking, like, you can sense those people that have a lot of fire, in their structure. And I challenge everyone, please identify those fiery people that you have around you or at work, or and try to identify these persons. It's interesting to
Yeah,
observe
yeah,
fire
it is.
in other people. Amazing.
Mm. Okay, and then we have the cube.
Oh, I love the 3D.
Yes, the cube
Yes.
is the element earth, and it's what comes after the fire, after the initiation. It's like the creation into matter and how to form that into life. And actually the geometry of the cube is very interesting, because every line and every anchor point represent something different. And it's like the 4 elements inside of the cube: the fire, water, air, and earth. It's like the face of above is time, the face underneath is space, the 4 phases of life: expression, experimentation, integration, and transcendence, south, east, west, north. And it's like all of the aspects and the archetypes which create life on earth. And yeah, it is actually also the Merkaba. The cube is the Merkaba in a way, which is what forms us as well. The Merkaba, did you know that we have this actually in our cells? Like the first cells which are formed when we are created have the geometry of the Merkaba, and these cells are the ones which stay until we die. So they are the only ones which don't renew themselves. And we can actually activate this as well, and connect to information inside of our DNA and like expand that through sacred geometry, using them as the keys to that. No?
Yes. I know that there is a specific ritual to activate your Merkaba, right? To activate and awaken the cells. Maybe we will do that in Ibiza in a further retreat, guys. That will be a huge leap for everyone to activate those cells within our body, to activate the Merkaba.
Okay, let's see. Now we have the octahedron, which is the one we were talking about before.
Yes.
The ether, the essence.
People who study chemistry, I guess they know this really well.
This one is actually because there's like 2 versions of connecting the elements with the Platonic solids. Because actually, I mean, they're called Platonic solids because Plato gave them this name, but they exist already way older, you know. And in Atlantis times and in very ancient times, the elements connected to each Platonic solid were a little bit different. So it was not like this. The ether used to be air. The octahedron used to be air, and the octahedron in Atlantic wisdom is the ether. And this is actually because it is found inside of the Merkaba. So inside of this, the center of the Merkaba is actually an octahedron. So even energetically, physically, we can, if we imagine we are the Merkaba like this, the octahedron is here, like in our solar plexus, and it is the essence and the seed, the universal seed of life.
I love it.
And
I love it.
then we have the dodecahedron, which I have here, like super 3-dimensional.
You guys know that I've been working with the dodecahedron a lot, and it's the sacred geometry also of the heart and the
Yes.
12. You know, it's practically I see the dodecahedron as the key of the universe that ignites like a chain reaction of forming and reshaping and everything that we know in the universe. How do you see the dodecahedron?
Yeah, for me, it's a very, very special geometry, and the energy it carries, it is, as you say, like very universal. It is a key to this universal information and essence. It's the element water, which is also very touching and emotional, no? But actually, did you know that the dodecahedron used to be the element air also, like in the Platonic solid vision.
Probably this is why I work with it. You know? Yeah.
It has a very special place in my heart because of the element water, and we were also working with it in Egypt. We were the dodecahedron basically representing it, so it carries like very, very deep information and codes, and also represents the 12 archetypes. Actually, talking about astrology, the dodecahedron represents these 12 different faces of ourselves, which are reflected into each other as a mirror. So yeah, it is very connected to our human evolution as well, and also to the planet, right? Because in all the work we do, it's the dodecahedron and the icosahedron which are put together, which form the matrix of the Earth, of the planet.
Yes.
And with all of the nodes. So the nodes of the dodecahedron, which are all the anchor points, they are very important. They are like magnetic, energetical points on the planet.
Yes. I've been working with the dodecahedron, especially in my course, like how to open your heart. I'm using this shape a lot to unlock the energy of the heart, and working with the 12 facetas. And actually, it's also a meditation that I like to conduct to become the dodecahedron in unlocking everything that is in the energy of this chakra, like the heart chakra, right?
Yeah.
And I guess when we'll see each other, we can put the lens of the dodecahedron and help people work with their heart chakra as well, more and more. And maybe we'll infuse also your oils. I have a very, very nice combination for you guys. Very soon to be announced at the end of this workshop. But until the end, stay here with us, and let's keep moving into the sacred geometry and the 5 Platonic solids, because I think we have one more shape, right?
Yes, I actually use the dodecahedron also for my heart oil.
This one too.
Because it is connected to the emotions now, and the emotions are related to the heart, and how to, as you said, use this geometry to move through the emotions and through the space of the heart. And actually, I use the dodecahedron also to, when I give healing sometimes, or when I use my hands to transmit energy, to connect with this molecule, which is like the water, and visualize it, and through this, like, use it to move the energy and move the water inside of the body when there's something like blood which is not flowing or something, and to really use this visually also to connect to this element more and move the flow of the blood. So I think also like this, you can use these solids in your own way.
I love it. What is the next shape that we have in the 5 Platonic solids? I think it's one more left, right?
Yes. This one is the icosahedron. And as I said before, the icosahedron and the dodecahedron together create the geometry of the Earth. And the icosahedron has 20 faces and 12 vertices, which are also nodes of the planet with who we work with. in
Yeah.
the Argentina event and in Egypt. And the icosahedron is element air. And I like to see it like this also, related to the elements. Like first we have the fire, which ignites the spark, which is the tetrahedron. The tetrahedron multiplies itself and forms the cube.
Yes.
The cube multiplies itself and forms the octahedron, which is in the middle of the 5 of them, and it's the essence.
Yes.
And the octahedron multiplies itself and forms the dodecahedron, which then is the water. So every time you multiply, it's like the element evaporates and goes one step higher, let's say, no? And the last element is the air, which is the untangible and what is ever everywhere, and which we breathe, and it kind of takes the information and brings it up. Yes, and for me, this geometry is really connected a lot to the universe also, and to the toroid energy, and to all of the different phases of existence, and also in a way to how we are physically shaped, because it's 20 faces connect with the 20 fingers we have, like the 20 fingers and the toes. And there's a lot of like hidden information inside of its structure, but
and inside our bodies, because the human body is sacred geometry.
yes.
And it takes so much time for people to actually like their body, to love their body, to look in the mirror and to admire who you are. Even the geometry of your face, the geometry of your eyes, your lips, your shoulders, your spine, your legs, your toes. There is always something that we don't like our body. And I guess that the first step to step into the sacred geometry of things is just looking at your body. Because we have these shapes within us and of course without us. So
yes.
as within, so without, as without, so within, right? So I guess for everyone who is just in the beginning of learning about sacred geometry, I advise you to start working with your body and to with the shape of your body, with all the details that you see in your body, and to start working with that and start loving yourself more and more, because connecting with yourself is in fact connecting to the elements, as you were saying now, because we have them in ourselves.
Yes.
And the more, I guess, we respond in a positive way to our body and who you are, when you look in the mirror, your cells respond to that acceptance and that love that we can show, that only you can show to yourself, right? Because if we don't show that to ourselves in the first place, it's so difficult for other people to show love to us. So from my experience, I guess I started to understand more of the alchemical side of the body and the sacred geometry, I think through Da Vinci's Code. And all his drawings and his obsession and his attention to the human body. And I guess
perfectly it is designed, no, like in the eye
Yeah.
of nature also, and everything in nature. It's amazing if you start looking at through this lens of sacred geometry and of the perfection. And in this way, yes, it's like we are so perfect already, our body, when we look at it, like how amazing, what a machine it is. It's working all the time, and how perfectly designed it is, and to really start to see that and appreciate that and see that with a pure and open heart.
Because I guess the moment you start looking at yourself with love, that's the moment in which you give a chance to the element to balance within you, right? So I guess self-love is a way of, you know, a step forward to harmony, to inner balance. Because what do you think of yourself, what do you think of your body, what do you think of your proportions and your structure and everything, I think the way you perceive yourself and you see yourself in the mirror, that's how you know, you're creating your shape, you're creating who you are. And the moment we change that perception, and the moment we learn how to look at our structure, this perfect alchemical structure, I think from my experience, that was the moment at which I feel that even my physical body changed. My lips, my eyes, my face. I mean, like even the color of my hair. You know, look, like there's so much fire that I felt lately that you can even see it outside. So that's really, it's really, I couldn't wait to talk to you about the sacred geometry, because I feel it's such a powerful tool that people need to understand, connect, and learn how to use, because in fact it's a way of creating and recreating yourself.
Yes, yes, it is. It is the language of the universe, and we can really learn how to speak it and how to feel it inside of ourselves, and how we are made of this perfect language and forms already. And in this way, use it also maybe to find like the perfection inside of us again, you know, and find like the love inside of us.
And you said it very good, you know, because it's the language of the universe, because you know those quotes and those images, you are the universe, you are the universe, and a lot of people are like, okay, how am I the universe? Like, you know, but sacred geometry like really explains it, and it's pure mathematics, it's pure quantum physics, it's pure biology, it's pure chemistry.
Music also, like the
Music,
frequency
sounds.
of music.
Whoa, you said it super well. So I guess, yes, sacred geometry is the language of the universe. Like a summary, let's create it now at the end. It's what is nature. It's us. It's you and I. It's all the geometry that we see. And I challenge you guys, please look around all over you, because you will see these geometries in architectural structures, in buildings, and just look around, because you will see it, and you will start to understand more and more of who you are, and more about how really we could see sacred geometry all over us, right?
Yes, they are actually also really powerful tools to use the energy which is inside of them to, for example, charge our water or our food, or use them for what they already represent, because they carry a lot of, they carry these keys to the universe. So for example, you can, if you have like the Merkaba like this, or you can just print it on a paper and put your jar of water on top, and this geometry will affect and make the water more purified, and
That's
put
an
just
amazing
really beautiful
tool.
energy inside of it.
For example, now at the end, how do you charge the water? A glass of water, a bottle of water, how do you charge it energetically? I think that's an amazing tool for people to, if you want to share with us, of course.
So I usually have my water on top of geometry like this one, or the Metatron, so that it already charges itself and purifies itself, and with shungite crystals inside. And then if you want to charge the water, you just take your time and close your eyes and take the glass or the jar, and with your hand, for me it's always my right hand, which is like much more activated and which conducts the energy, and close the eyes and just let the energy flow through you. And from the purest of, from the deepest of your heart, or from up from the, it doesn't really matter. It depends how you, like, the energy is inside of yourself already. So it, like, you are the universe, as you said before. It does not come from up or from below, it's inside of you. But you can imagine that it comes from up as well, and you just start to conduct it into the water. And if you want, you can even use the dodecahedron, like, visually, and imagine that you are charging this water, and you are working with this element water, and you become the water, and feel how the water feels, and how it moves, and how, and
Yes, just identifying with this super versatile molecule, because I think water is the key of our planet, and
yes,
the key of
and
our
inside of
body.
the body also, you can start to try to feel how the water in your blood moves, and yes, just give it a little bit of a thought and time for this water, which we consume all the time, and we can really charge it, and we can make our health and our body much healthier with this charged water.
Energetically, yes, because water responds to vibration. So the more you place the bottles of water or the jars, on sacred geometries, or you charge them with your hand, as we shared, that will create a different kind of vibration that reaches your cells, your stomach, your body, and so on.
And this is also, sorry, this is also a beautiful way, actually, to connect more with the element water, as we were saying before,
especially
like, just
those
who don't have it so integrated, to charge the water, and take the time before you drink a glass of water, and put the intention that you're going to drink this water now, and charging it with love, and just let love pour.
Yes, and I guess this is also challenging for people who find it hard to drink water.
Yeah.
Restore your connection with water, guys, especially if you find it hard to drink it. We're approaching the last seconds, Noah, and I would love everyone a reminder. You can find Noah's essential oils on Mira on Instagram. I will put a story right now after we close this workshop on Instagram, and you can reach her page on Instagram or on Facebook, Noah Dold, and her page is Mira, Mira, and you can learn more about her essential oils. And I think, Noah, on Instagram they can even go on your link tree and read more about the essential oil, and even order.
Yes, there's all the information there, and I'm always here, very happy to answer any questions or thoughts, or also to help you if you want to start to use aromatherapy and essential oils in your life, but you don't know really how or for what. Like, I'm always very happy to
I will tag Noah right now, and I really invite you to send her questions. And now at the end, I will love to announce that me and Noah, we are planning to have a live event in Romania, in Bucharest. So in January, we are going to start the year, first month of January, with Noah Dold in Bucharest. We will announce very soon our days in Bucharest. It will most probably be in the second part of the month.
Yes.
Yes, and Noah and I, we will announce our dates in Bucharest, in the heart of Bucharest, at Hotel Tishmigiu, next to this wonderful park. Noah, the hotel where you came last time as well. I'm planning to have it there. So we will stay in the loop and follow her page, and and I will announce it also on our pages. So if you guys you want to meet Noah in person, work with the oils, we will create a much deeper information for the days in which we will have Noah in Bucharest. So
Yes.
more about sacred geometry, more about essential oils, more about all of this, we will have it live.
Expanding the senses with the elements and the colors, and through the purity of
Exactly.
the heart with Adina, and combining our alchemy together.
Yes. And I'm really happy also to announce that I've been launching lately lajoyacrystalhealing.com, my new website, international one that I invite you to explore. And there is the book right there that I've been launching very close to Christmas. We launched it in Romania and internationally, Regeneration, the Alphabet of Love. I invite you to discover it on lajoyacrystalhealing.com and also on booksexpress.ro, Romania, the
And the
library
beautiful cards.
and the beautiful cards that, yes, the set of cards that come with the book, that's that's an amazing story that I will share in another workshop, because that's light language. I'm very happy you have them, Noah. And maybe this is a very good idea for our next workshop together, talking about light language. What do you think? Because
Yes.
that's a super topic also for a lot of us. So we will see. Until then, I invite you guys on our pages and online, follow the content, and see you live in Bucharest, Noah. Very
Thank you. See you all. Thank you for watching and for being here.
And
Thank you, Adina.
thank you for sharing your information with us, your experience, who you are. And I wish you a wonderful and an amazing 2023, to discover more of your beauty and share more of your beauty with the world. Thank you,
Thank
Noah.
you. It's always a pleasure to share with you.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching. This will be on YouTube. Whenever you want to come back, you can visit the information. I love you all.
I love you. Goodbye.